This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
A very good evening. The big news we are breaking now on NDTV Hindu is that the DMK has pulled out of the UPA government. It has withdrawn 6 of its ministers and there has been no agreement on seat sharing in Tamil Nadu between the Congress and the DMK. I'm Divya and our executive editor Sanjay Pinto will join us in just a short while. We will bring you all the reactions and update on this big politically altering news. But first, the headlines. The 7-year-old DMK Congress alliance in the verge of a collapse. 6 ministers withdraw from the cabinet, no agreement on seat sharing. DMK will now extend issue-based support to the UPA government. The resolution says they can't have an amicable poll accord with Congress. Pressure is mounting on the DMK as Jayalalitha takes the lead in firming up her alliance after DMDK. What will be the deal for MDMK? Well, the big story just a month ahead of assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, the 7-year-old Congress DMK alliance is in the verge of a collapse as the partners could not agree on seat sharing. The DMK has withdrawn 6 of its ministers from the cabinet. That is the news we are breaking this hour, and the party will now only extend issue-based support to the UPA government. In fact, we have been getting many reactions, and the DMK spokesperson in fact said that if the Congress comes with a proposal after this, it will be considered. And the senior DMK leader TR Balu has said that the decision of the party was the final word and that there were only some differences over seat sharing between the Congress and the DMK, but the party would continue its friendship with the Congress. All this comes after a high-level meeting of the DMK after it met this evening to decide on continuing their alliance with the Congress, and they have now pulled out of the UPA government. That is the big news we are breaking on NDTV Hindu tonight. Senior political commentator Mr. Gnani in fact joined us on the phone line. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The DMK is over desperate and is overreacting because if the seat share is not coming through, you can simply say there is no alliance. What makes them withdraw the support there and remove themselves from the cabinet? There is no need at all, which means it shows only the desperation in arm twisting the Congress. But Congress is taking its decision a little too late. It should have grabbed the offer from Amma right then DMK would have been much in a bigger swoop. Right now, Congress's options get limited. DMK's calculation is very simple. They were waiting for Vijaykanth to fight separately so that the anti-DMK votes would get split. When Vijaykanth aligned with Jayalalitha, DMK knew that anti-DMK votes are going to get consolidated. So now they are kind of using Congress now to split the anti-DMK votes. Once anti-DMK votes get split between Congress on one end and Jaya happen on the other end, DMK can gain by the split. So this is the DMK strategy. As of now, it is advantage to DMK. And Congress and AIDMK can even come for a tacit understanding now. So as of now, with DMK out of the cabinet in the center, Congress's hands have become free to pursue the spectrum issue much more. They are not anymore bound by the coalition dharma, as Manmohan Singh had earlier said. So which means, like DMK has tried to arm twist Congress, Congress can now arm twist DMK with more spectrum cases which can directly land in the house of the Chief Minister Karunanidhi. DMK will find it quite difficult if Congress decides to go one step further and tighten the noose around the DMK leadership on spectrum issue. And Congress can do this only if it is sure about a tacit understanding with the AIDMK group. So in the coming days, we should look for what kind of understanding Congress reaches with the AIDMK. Congress may even try to wean PMK out of the DMK fold by offering one ministry to PMK Supremo's son.
Right. We are now in fact joined live by reporter Lokpriya from Anna Arivalayam, where that high-level meeting just concluded. Well, Lokpriya, what can you share with us at this point?
Well, Divya, I can't hear you clearly. Can you please repeat your question?
What is it that you're gathering at this point, Lokpriya, from the DMK headquarters?
All the top brass of the DMK have just left Anna Arivalayam at this particular point of time. It's a big breaking news, a huge impact that has actually come to this particular thing. Nobody even actually expected, because there were sources that were telling us that the deal might be signed by tonight, but this announcement by the DMK comes as a huge surprise. Especially because the DMK has said that we agreed upon 60 seats, and then later when Ghulam Nabi Azad went back to Delhi, he had asked us for 63 seats, and then again and also insisted on hand-picking the constituencies. So this has not gone down well with the DMK, and this is something that the DMK has to say, that they feel that the Congress has put them in an untenable situation and either they do not like the alliance or do not like us. So hence we like to withdraw from the support or in the center. That's what the DMK is saying. And at this point of time, the stakes are too high for both the parties. What we can tell you right now is it's too late for Congress actually to team up with the AIDMK, because the DMDK has already has finalized an alliance with the AIDMK. So at this point of time, it's difficult for the Congress to finalize deal with the AIDMK. So the only solution it has is either to patch up with the DMK or to fight it alone in the 234 constituencies in Tamil Nadu, which again does not look very good. The situation is grim. If it decides to go alone, it is quite risky for them if they decide to do so. And as far as DMK is concerned, the party cadres here celebrated the DMK chief's resolution. They welcomed it. They in fact celebrated by giving sweets to all of them present at Anna Arivalayam. They say that they're very happy with the decision. In fact, we managed to speak to Thol Thirumavalan, the VCK leader, who is also in alliance with the DMK party, and he said that he welcomed this resolution of Karunanidhi and has said that this does not mean that our alliance is weakened, it is only strengthened. That's the word coming in from the VCK chief Thirumavalan. We also spoke to TKS Ilangovan, the party spokesperson of the DMK, and he basically said the same thing that was there in the resolution of why they chose not to align with the Congress. And when the reporters asked whether the DMK will reconcile or reconsider its decision, he quite did not give he said the resolution says it all. So very clear words from the DMK. At this point of time, and this 7 years of marriage has ended in a bitter note. The 7 years of marriage between the UPA and Congress that began in the Lok Sabha election has ended in a bitter note of aftertaste of the 2G and other corruption. And at this point of time, it is difficult for the Congress because already it is facing a lot of crisis, starting from the Commonwealth Games. So now it has to also deal with the has to cope up with the DMK's loss also. So in a sense, it's a huge loss for the Congress. While the Congress tried to arm twist the DMK with the Raja issue, the DMK has decided to come out of it. So in a way, the political experts that we spoke to are saying that with this regard, the Congress will no longer have coalition compulsion, and they can move freely with the CBI probe against Raja and the 2G spectrum. So that's what the political experts are saying. Now that the alliance, there is no coalition alliance compulsion, the Congress will have a free hand, or rather can move ahead freely in the 2G. So a lot of ramifications, a lot of political ramifications that are taking place can change the spectrum of this election campaign that is going to take place, and also change the entire election process and the results also. Remember when AIDMK sealed the deal with the DMDK, it was one sign that the Vijaykanth can be a game turner in this particular election. Now that the Congress and DMK alliance has broken, election in Tamil Nadu cannot get bigger. Politics in Tamil Nadu cannot get bigger. And this is very, very interesting. And now clearly the ball is in Congress's court. The DMK has conveyed its wish and they have said that they have come back. So the points that we need to wait and see is whether the DMK will reconcile its decision and whether the Congress will offer an olive branch or not. That's the big thing that we need to wait and see. Divya?
Priya, from what you're saying and from what I can gather out there in that mood, the DMK workers, in fact, they're celebrating, looking as though that they no longer need the support of the Congress. But however, their senior leader, T.R. Balu, in fact, has come out saying that the seat-sharing talks, this is what has been halted.
I cannot hear your question clearly. Can you please repeat it?
Right, Lokpriya. What I was saying was, according from the DMK camp, from what you were saying, it looks like the mood is quite upbeat, as though they do no longer need the support of the Congress. But their senior leader, yes, Lokpriya, can you hear me? Hello? Well, Lokpriya, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yes, Lokpriya.
As you said, Divya, the mood in DMK camp is very, very upbeat. They do not show any sign of remorse or anything. Their body language, their way all the leaders came out smilingly. And so they were all very happy and they all stand by the party's resolution. So, and they kind of send out a signal that the DMK is not dependent of Congress and they can go alone and they can fight and they can even win victoriously. That's the kind of signal that they are sending out, Divya.
Right, Lokpriya. Now, in fact, their senior party leader T.R. Balu has come out saying that their friendship with the Congress is still not over. It's only the seat sharing talks that have, as of now, come to an end. So the road is still not blocked for them completely.
Divya, I'm not able to hear you. Can you please repeat the question?
Right, Lokpriya, looks like we're having some technical problems with your telephone line over there. We will come back to you shortly. Let's in fact now listening to what Janata Party's chief Subramanian Swamy had told NDTV Hindu when this news was breaking.
But they have not pulled out support. They have diluted their support by saying it's issue-based and their own ministers. But I don't know whether this is brinkmanship or not, because there are not only seat problems between DMK and Congress, but the question is about the summoning of both Karunanidhi's daughter and wife on the 2G spectrum matter, which the Prime Minister has been pleading he has no control because the CBI is under court monitoring. But he is not very prepared to do it. And when Ghulam Nabi Azad there, this was an issue discussed. So therefore, I think it appears to me brinkmanship until actually the March 19th, the first day of polling comes, of the election process comes. I will not believe that this is a serious political change. Well, corruption is issue number one in Tamil Nadu, and I don't know whether the people are going to vote candidate-wise or party-wise. And I personally feel there will be a highly fragmented mandate this time because people are fed up with all the formations which have been ruling alternatively in the state.
Well, to bring our viewers up to speed once again on this big breaking news that we are breaking this hour is that the 6 of DMK's ministers have withdrawn from the UPA government. The DMK resolution has now decided that they will only extend issue-based support for the UPA government. We'll take a very short break, but we will be back with more reactions and updates on this breaking news. Stay with us.